So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 2015 Japanese action thriller sort of horror film Tag. No, this is not the one that came out this year based on those guys that have a lifelong game Tag. This is, like I said, a Japanese horror film thriller, I guess. Depends on how you want to categorize it. I am a firm believer in horror not necessarily having to be terrifying or scary, because then I feel like they would just be called scary films. So I feel like you can still categorize this one as horror, even though personally to me it wasn't that scary, and I don't feel like it was necessarily meant to be scary. But the Netflix description of this film is: the sole survivor of a freak school bus accident, a shy Japanese high schooler finds herself in a surreal and very violent alternative universe. So I went to this not really knowing what it's about. I just kind of read the first line of it, the sole survivor of freak bus accident, because I didn't really want to know too much. I have sort of heard about this movie before. I've seen that there are reviews of this online, but I've never watched any of them. I've just kind of set this one aside and decided that I would watch it for the 31 Days of Horror. This movie is very strange, to say the least, but so good. It is very intense, very quite confusing, but I feel like with a satisfying yet somewhat sad ending. And I really don't want to get spoilery on this one. I know my other ones I've been doing spoilers, and I usually am okay with doing spoilers in reviews, but I know there are some people who watch my reviews who haven't always seen the movies that I'm talking about. So for this one, I just wanted to avoid the spoilers, because I really do think it is completely worth watching, and that you definitely should not let this one be spoiled for you. All I will say is, if you love a lot of blood and death and epic fight scenes and Japanese action and horror films, you will definitely really enjoy this. But I mean, if you're not into those things, well, then this movie wouldn't really be for you. But I will say, if you are big into like the idea of alternative universes, you will definitely love this film as well. It definitely goes really into that, as well as other kind of, I guess, conspiracy theories about what kind of world we're living in. I'll just leave it at that. You'll really enjoy that if you're big into that kind of stuff, which I personally am. So yeah, I loved this film. I thought it was so well done. The subtitles didn't go by too quickly, which is really nice for me. If you watched my review of Veronica, that was one of the things that I kind of had a hard time with watching that film, was how quickly the subtitles went. This one's a little bit more friendly for those of us who don't speak Japanese, and it's also not extremely hard to follow, I would say. Like I did say, it does get kind of confusing in parts, but everything, I feel like everything gets explained by the end. And what's really nice, like this movie is an hour and 25 minutes long. I feel like it's perfect. Like I don't feel like there's too much or not enough. This movie really is just like, for a movie watcher, perfect, because you don't find yourself really like bored at any point. You really find yourself like very much focused on this film, not just because there's subtitles, but but like just the story itself is so interesting, and there's these two main characters that in it that you just kind of, personally for me, I kind of like loved them, and which is what makes kind of the ending of this a bit sad. But yeah, I thought this movie was really up there as just like a nearly perfect film. which is why I am going to give it, and I think this may be the first time I've done this since introducing my rating system. I'm actually going to give this movie a 5 out of 5, which is a Final Destination. I really fucking love this movie. It was so good. Highly, highly suggest it if you have not seen it. If you have Netflix, which is where I'm like watching most of these, it is on there. So please do go watch this. And if you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this review, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't for more horror related content. And a quick shout out to my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the channel. It means so much. Thank you guys so much. If you want to know the perks to being a Patreon, the link is in the description below, along with all of my other social media, as always. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later with another video.